From the studios at Bossier Parish Community College, this is BIPC News.
Good afternoon, I'm Calvin Hamilton.
And I'm Shelby Lawrence.
And this is BIPC News. Well, signed, sealed, and delivered is exactly what President Obama did last night.
That's right. After a brutal, bitter campaign, President Obama fought his way to victory.
And both Governor Romney and the president are talking about moving forward and uniting as a country. George Howell has more on the campaign coverage.
Thousands packed this Chicago Convention Center to celebrate the current and future president, Barack Obama.
While our journey has been long, we have picked ourselves up. We have fought our way back. And we know in our hearts that for the United States of America, the best is yet to come.
Tonight's outcome was anything but certain. It's been 6 months and more than 100 rallies since the president officially kicked off his re-election effort. A slow economic recovery and a poor performance in the first presidential debate left the campaign in a virtual tie in the final weeks. But as the election wore on, the president continued to rack up key electoral votes. Then, shortly after 11 p.m. Eastern Time, it was Ohio that put Obama over the top, a state that became ground zero for both candidates in the final hours of the campaign. For Mitt Romney, the loss was a bitter disappointment following weeks of campaign momentum. But in a concession speech to supporters in Boston, Romney conveyed a message of unity in defeat.
I so wish that I had been able to fulfill your hopes to lead the country in a different direction, but the nation chose another leader, and so Ann and I join with you to earnestly pray for him and for this great nation.
The president says he looks forward to working with his former opponent in the future.
In the weeks ahead, I also look forward to sitting down with Governor Romney to talk about where we can work together to move this country forward.
The president, in his victory speech, took a very bipartisan tone, saying that Americans voted for action and not politics as usual. But again, keep in mind, this is a Democratic president who will be dealing with a House that is run by Republicans, a Senate run by Democrats. Again, the same setup, facing the same divisions that we've seen over the last 4 years. That is the very latest from Chicago. I'm George Howell reporting. Got it, okay, cool.
Holiday food drive is going on now through December 7th. You can help the hungry by donating non-perishable goods to the Northwest Louisiana Food Bank. Collection barrels are located on campus in buildings A, B, E, and G.
And now here's Courtney Moser with Today in History.
Hello, I'm Courtney Mosley, and welcome to Today in History. It's Wednesday, November 7th, the 312th day of the year, and we have 54 days left in 2012. In 1820, James Monroe, the 5th President of the United States, was re-elected. Monroe was unopposed for the Democratic-Republican Party nomination and ran unopposed in the general election. Only one elector did not vote for him. The reason, according to legend, was so that George Washington would be the only president unanimously chosen by the Electoral College. In 1848, General Zachary Taylor emerged as a hero of the Mexican War, which took place in 1846 and 1848, and was nominated as the presidential candidate at the Whig Convention in June 1848. He defeated the Democratic candidate Lewis Cass and was re-elected the 12th president of the United States this day. In 1944, U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt won a 4th term, defeating Republican Thomas E. Dewey. FDR was the only president to be elected for more than 2 terms. He was elected 4 times with 3 different vice presidents. He died in office on April 12, 1945, after serving 53 days of his 4th term. Vice President Harry Truman filled the remaining of his term and was elected president in 1948. In 1946, a coin-operated television receiver was displayed in New York City. To take a peek at various test patterns and a model of Felix the Cat, folks dropped in a quarter. In 1963, Elston Howard of the New York Yankees was named the American League's most valuable player. Howard was the first black player to receive the honor. Today's celebrity birthdays include Christopher Knight, actor well known for his role in The Brady Bunch. He was also appeared in Another World, A Very Brady Christmas, Good Girls Don't, and The Brady Bunch movie. Johnny Rivers, singer with hits including Poor Side of Town, Memphis, Secret Agent Man, Slow Dancin', and Baby I Need Your Lovin'. Barry Newman, actor who played the title role in Petrocelli. He also starred in Nightingales, The Edge of Night, and Vanishing Point. That's it for Today in History. We'll leave you with Mr. President, Have Pity on the Working Man, a hit by Randy Newman. I'm Courtney Mosley. Thanks for watching Today in History.
Up next is sports.
But first, here's Brandon Fountain with a look at today's forecast.
Thank you, and good morning, Bossier City. Today was a little bit cool in the morning, and we did warm up a little bit since then, but today and throughout the week, we'll be in the low 70s, and for the rest of the week, and for the lows, we'll be in the high 40s. You see, Saturday, we have a little 55, and Sunday, 60. And not only that, this Sunday, we also have a chance of rain with the 40%. And for today's forecast, we have Bossier City, 71, Texarkana, 69, Minden, 70, Natchitoches, 73, Marshall, 70, Henderson, 72, and Ruston, 68.
There's a crisis in the Horn of Africa. Actually, there are 3 crises. The worst drought in 60 years, the worst famine in 20, and nonstop violence. But there's hope, because saving lives doesn't take a lot. It just takes a lot of us. Text a donation of $10 and do more than donate. Forward the facts to everyone you know. Forward from the site, on Facebook, and on Twitter. We are the relief.
Look, it is not as easy as you think being hot, young, and still single.
Add that you have this annoying accent, and finding Mr. Right can be really tough.
We decided to pass a link around Facebook, trying to meet people in our area.
Well, they just assumed that we were virus or spam.
No one wanted to click it.
In 1977, in Johannesburg, South Africa, an 8-year-old boy picked up the game of golf from his father. By the age of 9, he was already outplaying him. The odds of this gentle lad winning the Junior World Golf Championships at the age of 14, 1 in 16 million. The odds of that same boy then making it to the US and European Pro Golf Tours, 1 in 7 million. The odds of the Big Easy winning the Open Championship once and the US Open Championship twice, 1 in 780 million. The odds of this professional golfer having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 110. Ernie Els encourages you to learn the signs of autism at autismspeaks.org. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
Welcome back to Bipsy News. Calvin, I saw a couple of basketball games on last night while I was watching the elections. Who all played and won?
Well, the Bulls played last night and they actually won. They're doing pretty good without Derrick Rose. And my Denver Nuggets got their first win last night of the season. Carlos Diaz has more in today's Headline Sports.
Headline Sports, I'm Carlos Diaz. It may have been Election Day in the USA, but that did not mean the sports world completely stopped. In the NBA, the Chicago Bulls hosted the Orlando Magic, with the Bulls ending up victorious, 99-93. Luol Deng scored 23 points to lead the way for Chicago. Aaron Aflalo was the lead man for Orlando. He had 28. The loss was the Magic's first of the young season. To Oklahoma City, where the Thunder cruised past the Toronto Raptors 108-88. Russell Westbrook overcame a nagging shoulder injury and had a big night for OKC with 19 points. Thunder big man Serge Ibaka came 1 rebound away from a double-double, scoring 17 points and pulling down 9 boards. The Denver Nuggets finally got their first win of the season after beating the Detroit Pistons 109-97. Andre Iguodala had 17 points for Denver to help them snap a 3-game losing streak to start their year. With the loss, the Pistons are still looking for their first win of the season. In college football action, Ball State upset 23rd-ranked Toledo by a score of 34-27. Keith Winning threw for 3 touchdowns in the winning effort. With the win, Ball State snapped Toledo's 8-game winning streak. With Headline Sports, I'm Carlos Diaz.
Today from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., the Cavalier Express is hosting their Turkey Buck Drawing. The drawing is from November 5th through the 16th. It's just $1 and your name gets entered into a drawing for a free 10 to 12 pound smoked or fried turkey, dressing, pie, and rolls for 8 to 12 people. The drawing will be held on November 16th at noon.
Wow, that sounds really good. And also, don't forget that all this week you can vote for the homecoming court online through your BIPC student email account. The election will close at noon this Friday, so be sure to cast your vote.
Today at 7:30 p.m. in Building C, here on campus, you can catch Octuba Fest for free. This event features music from the tuba, trombone, and the euphonium. This group is under the direction of Dr. Joe L. Alexander, so make sure you come out and enjoy the music.
And also on more music, the BIPC Choir will hold a show here this Saturday on the BIPC campus in the Performing Arts Building, Building C, at 7:30 p.m. The choir is under the direction of Mr. Bill Bunn, and admission is free for all.
And today is the last day to drop without penalty for Session C, and you can start early registration for the spring semester.
A robot plays ping pong, and a 106-year-old lady votes for the first time. The video that make you say, "What?" And take a look at this.
Take a look at this. This robot can play ping pong, and he's pretty darn good at it, too. The robot was created by Chinese researchers to test skills like movement, coordination, and balancing. He showed off his table tennis talents at the China International Industry Fair in Shanghai. It took more than a century, but this woman finally voted. 106-year-old Gladys Miller cast her ballot in the presidential election with the help of a friend. She's been alive for 19 presidencies, dating all the way back to Teddy Roosevelt. But this is the first time she actually voted. And take a look at this. Elisa Kennedy is the longest-serving poll worker in the state of California. The 96-year-old was on the job Tuesday greeting voters in San Francisco. She's worked every election since 1949 when Truman was president, and gasoline cost just $0.25 a gallon. The state of California recognized Kennedy for her dedication on Election Day, and she's happy to show off the name tags she's worn during elections over the years. For Take a Look at This, I'm April Williams.
Wow, 106 years old.
Well, I'm glad she finally got to vote,
For the
first time at 106.
Could you imagine going that many years without casting your vote? Be that it may, that at her time sometimes she couldn't vote, but
yeah,
she's been through all those presidents. So, I mean, this shows that your vote does count. It also counts here on the BIPC campus. So, the homecoming week this week, make sure you cast your vote online, okay? I'm Calvin Hamilton.
And I'm Shelby Lawrence.
That's all we have today for BIPC News. Have a great day.